Dan, you have new storage.
Yeah, buddy. I did some shopping on Prime Day, and I got a couple of good deals. One of them was a new NVMe drive for my desktop right here and right in front of me. So this is the first episode with the new storage.
Interesting. So what drive did you get? What NVMe?
I got the Crucial P3 Plus 2 terabyte.
Ooh, that's a lot of storage.
That's a lot of storage because we do this show thing where we have a lot of video and stuff, and it takes a lot of storage to get all that done sometimes, and it's nice to have the fast storage so you can pull things together and whatnot. So,
well, you FFmpeg a lot, so
I do.
A new drive will help with that a whole lot.
Oh, very much so. So, I mean, I got a pretty good deal. I had a 256 gig drive in here, so it was absolutely tiny. That's just the boot drive. All right. So I do have another drive separate from that as well that I just kind of, throw some data at, but
was it SSD as well?
That is just an SSD, not an NVMe.
Okay, so 2.5 inch, the older style. Okay,
it's still warm storage, but it's like not my primary, right? So the boot disk, obviously NVMe, and lots of times initial files end up on the NVMe, and then we have our sync thing that comes off the NVMe, all that stuff, right? I basically cloned my drive from the 256 to the 2 terabyte. I did it in a stepped fashion. I use ButterFS, so all the ButterFS people are probably going to tell me I did it wrong.
Oh, you did. It doesn't matter how you did it. You did it wrong.
I absolutely did. I didn't use ButterFS send. Here's why. As the main primary disk, obviously, with EFI partitions and boot partitions, that stuff is FAT32, and it's not, you're not ButterFS there, or at least you shouldn't be if you want it to work.
We definitely don't partition shame on this show.
No, but I mean, that's the way it should be, right? I mean, so like I've got a boot, directory there that needs to get pulled over as well. So ButterFS send is not going to help you at all with that, right? I mean, doesn't do that.
No,
so
you got to pull out the old DD pocket knife and do it all manually.
I could have done that, but that would have required, putting both of the disks in there at the same time.
Oh.
Not that I couldn't do that, because I do have 2 NVMe slots, but I didn't want to have to fiddle around with having both of them installed at the same time.
True. I always have a USB enclosure for jobs like this.
I could have done that as well. But I took the really sysadmin-y way, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I used RescueZilla. It's a project that we've pitched before.
I think it was an app focus, wasn't it?
It was an app focus at one point, yeah. And so I copied the OneDrive, did a backup with RescueZilla, basically clones the whole drive onto my external. It's a spinning disk, but it's much larger, so I can make a copy of it. So then I have a backup. What a concept, right? I mean, backups are good. And hey, you know what? Backups are no good if you don't test them out and test out your restore process every once in a while. So I did that.
Would you look at that?
I did that. So I copied it off, took the old drive out, put the new drive in, started up RescueZilla, did a restore, and it copied everything right back. And then, pulled out the RescueZilla, pulled out the external drive, and voila, I booted right into my system just like it was. Only one thing left to do. That's expand your drive. And so you can do that with Parted. That's pretty easy. You just tell it to use the whole thing. And then you do the same thing with ButterFS. There's a command to do that, to tell it to, expand, use the whole drive. And
nice.
Voila, I'm, now 2 terabytes instead of 256 megs.
Woo! So how much storage are you currently using right now? I'm putting you on the spot. You got to open up file managers or, a terminal or something and check on this. But while you check on that, I will remind everybody, RescueZilla was the app/ distro sort of thing that we covered in episode 16 of season 1, Full On Nerd. So
Okay, there we go.
if you're feeling nostalgic, you want to go back a couple of years.
It's still a great project. I've updated mine, obviously. It's running the new Jammy Jellyfish because it runs on Ubuntu. So that helps it boot on some things a little better, probably.
So if we could focus on an app right now, it'd be Rescuezilla or Parted, maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
I
I used both of those. They were great. So I'm using 191 gig. So I was getting.
So you weren't even using the whole disk in the first place.
No, but it's getting close. You know,
Okay.
191 out of 256 it's creeping up there, right? I mean,
and that's assuming you got the whole 256. You know that thing was like 225.
Oh yeah, because
formatted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Gigabytes.
So I was getting close. I was not over, but I was very cognizant of how much space I had. And like,
you're feeling cramped.
Got to move some stuff over here now because I don't have any space anymore. Yeah, that sort of thing. I mean, yeah, it's just shuffling it around. I don't have to shuffle it around so fast anymore. So, I actually got a pretty good deal. I got that for $95.
Whoa, man! I'm so looking forward.
That's pretty good. I feel like
I bought Enterprise 4 terabyte spinning discs for my NAS. I have 3 of them for about 160 each, and this was 5-6 years ago. So they're getting long in the tooth. They're out of warranty. I think they had a 5-year warranty, so they're out of warranty now.
It's probably time.
So now we're in scary territory. But I'm not using all of that space, so it wouldn't be a huge deal. So what I'm getting at is what I want to do is I just want to buy a PCI card with a bunch of NVMe slots in it and then just go to NVMe NAS storage. And this is all in the mini ITX form factor, right? So those disks are big compared to this case. It's a very small case. And so going NVMe would save on heat, save on space, increase airflow. It would extend the life of the hardware by being less hot.
Yeah.
And oh man, yeah, because that CPU will heat up, man. Like once I filled up all the disk drive bays, that CPU, I mean, it was getting in the high 60s when it starts doing stuff, and I'm like, not a huge deal, but still, it's like,
yeah.
So
NVMe it would be easier
that.
on it, yeah.
So we're getting close to that price point, and I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cool. So the other thing I got is a new audio interface, and
ooh, yeah.
I mean, I've been using a mixer, an 8-channel mixer, which is great. Like, I love it.
It's a big mamma jamma too. I've seen it. It's large.
It takes up as much space as my laptop sitting over here now, and that's the thing. Like, it ate up space that I could have put a laptop down, and took up an outlet in the wall because like it has
that you could have plugged a laptop into.
Yeah, it had its own power supply and stuff. Like, so it took all of that stuff, and it's great, but I only got one thing to plug in, and that's this microphone right here that's in front of me. I don't have other microphones to plug in, and I don't need any of the effects that are on it or any of that stuff.
When this thing turns into a full-on radio show and we have a time slot and everything, maybe you bring it back.
I might.
Then you can play, throw some effects in there or something.
And when I bring guests into my, recording studio here.
Seven guests.
Right. I can get them all mic'd up. So, I only need one interface. One place to plug in. So I was looking around, and obviously the Focusrite stuff is very highly recommended. A lot of people have those.
That's what I use.
They're great. They are great. We have some even at work, and I know they would be great. And they don't take up a lot of space. They're kind of small. However, something that caught my eye was this Shure X2U. And it's tiny. Like, you see, this is the USB, this is the XLR. That's it. That's all there is.
It's what they call inline.
Yeah. But it does have an audio, output in it as well.
So for real-time monitoring.
I can real-time monitor, plus it can be, a playback device too. Just like all the other big boys.
Yeah.
So I can get, system sounds and stuff over that. Plus there's a separate volume knob so you can have the real-time audio back if you wanted to.
Right.
And I may do that. I don't know. I've done that before, but it's just kind of small, kind of sits here behind my monitor. I don't even know it's there now.
It's just part of the cable now.
It's just part of the cable now. It fits right in line, and it's like it just converts it from XLR to USB, and I'm done.
That's really cool.
And so, I don't know. It's proof in the pudding. We'll see what this episode sounds like. I know.
Yeah, if this episode sounds terrible, I will tell Dan to bring back the mixer, and...
I don't think it will. We did a Discord live stream with it last time, so I've had a little testing to it. It's not like it's untested at all, so I feel pretty confident with it. But it does seem like, looking at the Audacity, like the noise floor is down considerably from... That's
awesome. That's going to make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, that was a super annoying thing. Like, we kept having to hunt around for different channels that didn't have as much noise and stuff, because I think my mixer is starting to get a little old too.
Yeah,
so,
you bumped it with your hip too many times.
Maybe. I don't know.
And something finally got knocked loose. Most of that stuff is solid state. So,
yep.
I don't know. Maybe got struck by lightning too many times.
Yeah, could be. So
that's how all my hardware goes. It gets hit by lightning and it just stops working. That's how my Cisco switch died. My expensive small business Cisco switch. And lightning. I heard a pop, dude. So lightning strikes. I hear a loud pop, and I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, cool. But the internet continues to work, right? And so, but I do a round of updates like a couple weeks later, and I realize it was the saved memory of the Cisco switch that made the pop. It was probably that memory controller.
Oh, yeah.
And the running memory, the RAM, kept it going until I rebooted it. And then once I rebooted it, stopped working.
It's all gone.
Just couldn't read anymore. So, man, that was such a... ooh.
So I got a pretty good deal on that, too. That was only $79.
Hey, not bad. That's cheaper than a Focusrite. Even the Solo. I think the
it
Solo's
is cheaper than the Solo. Yeah, the Solo's like right around 100, and that wasn't the thing that sold me. It's a Shure, so I know it's quality, matches my microphone, and it seems good so far. So I don't know. The price was great, and because they had the Focusrite ones too on sale on the Prime Day as well. But
did they?
They did.
Nice.
I don't know if they do anymore or not, but
I'll keep an eye out for it. It would be a nice backup, I think. That would be really cool.
And so the other great thing is if we ever take this show on the road, I could easily toss this in a bag and take off, and wouldn't have much to carry along. So that'd be kind of great too.
Absolutely. I like this guy. He has both.
Mm-hmm.
He's got XLR, which I use here, and then it's got USB-C as well, which is awesome. It's what I wanted in the baby brother of the microphone that you have. It's what I wanted.
Oh, yeah, the MV7 or whatever that is.
Yeah. But I just did not like... you really had to play with the settings on it. There wasn't any low end, at least not on my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to mutz with that in post, and I didn't like that at all. So without a mixer, the mixer would have come in handy with a situation like that.
Yeah.
But, nope. Went with this guy instead, which was nice.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping all the best.